5 years ago. And it's not an exaggeration to say that they're at war with the rest of the world. Animals for a very long time. In that battle, they serpents carried a trump card. Make the world prehistoric suddenly become more dangerous a lot. It's a poison that targets a fatal weakness. Achilles, in the nervous system of most animals, have an ancient spine, force them to be ready for an evolutionary battle. A battle that even the ancestors of humans, nor is it exempt. Snakes are a group with a long history. The first snake crawled on the ground from the late Cretaceous, almost 100 million years ago. The PD is much younger. Not even 40 million 5 years old. How old are you that you call? Not even 40 years old is young. Although he is very young, he is evolutionarily solid. The Elapidae are amazingly diverse. There are about 600 species of venomous snakes. More than half of them are about 360 species. This family, the rest are in the family Viperade, Atractopid, and Colubidae. In fact, when the scientific input rearranges, they realize that Elapids have variable speeds. Fastest species ever seen in the world. Reptile, a lot of snakes. Sister snake, the face of the snake, the son of the grandson, the father of the snake, from cobra to ridiculous. The longest venomous snake is black. Snakes have the highest mortality rate. To the world's most venomous sea snake, Dubois sea snake, or the most venomous serpent on Earth. Taipan local products, it all belongs to their payrolls. And their success, elapsed in large part from their sophisticated weapons. First, the Elapidae didn't invent venom. The first venomous snake to appear before the Elapids. First, open the brackets. Elapid is the name of the snakes in the Elapidae family. Closing brackets 2040.000.05. And snake venom can even be a legacy. It's been passed back from their legged ancestors. Evolved from some kind of toxic saliva. Cute, but only when they take over. Snake venom has become an art form. Many snakes have thick fangs at the back of their mouths. You can only save small amounts of venom at low pressure, whereas in Suai at a completely different level. They have hollow fangs. It's like a syringe in the front of the mouth, allowing them to literally block high-pressure venom. Into the body is still applied, while the venom of some snakes, with fangs in front, such as species in the family, Snake 6 in Viper, usually hit the victim's cells and tissues. They destroy them slowly. The venom of the Elapidae looks much more insidious. They're mostly nerve agents. It causes paralysis and quick death by disrupting the nervous system's ability to communicate with the rest of the body. Specific neurotoxins in snake venom. It binds to nerve receptors, inherited from an ancient lineage of animals. There's a spine. It's like a fatal weakness. Arsenic heals move so. Where the nerve agent binds to these particular things, they block electrical signals from the brain, disrupting the basic functions of life. Like moving and breathing, it causes a slow death, but definitely in a few hours or even minutes. As soon as the update was called nerve venom, installed on the Earth server, most of the vertebrate species, there are two options, or join the arms race. To find a way to cope, or disappear the cup. In that evolutionary race, the most active species are funny. It's not human, or whatever species you're thinking about. It's a group of amphibians with no legs. Worm or snake breeds. It's called Clion. That's it, it's a worm, not a worm, brothers and sisters. CC has a spine, and there's no worms at all. In reality, the ones in the half-worm, half-snake you're seeing, extremely old. They appeared before the first snakes, over 100 million years. I mean, technically, you have to call it a snake that looks like CC. But despite the saying, is a member of the association. These people who have not reigned all their lives, Sishan and Etapit. They are not good friends of each other. On the contrary, both of them had a period of no return. When analyzing the nerve receptors of CC lineages, immediately different, the researchers were surprised to find that around the time that Elapidae snakes start to diversify and invade the world, the Sician lineages have evolved that converge their resistance to nerve venom at least 15 times. Wow! After hearing it for the first time, convergent evolution is when different species, genetically distant from each other, living in different times, to evolve the same characteristics, or similar, to resist the same evolutionary pressures. For example, birds and bats have cactus wings, and many species of flowers have spines. Back to CC. Their venom resistance has evolved at the same time, across the planet, from the Americas to Africa to Asia. That's the form, but the content is different. Each CC strain against the poison of snakes in different ways. Some have mutations that prevent the toxin from attaching to the receptor. Some change the shape of the receptor to no longer fit the toxins. It's like changing a lock. Some even finely VI to the extent that the electrical charge of the receptors changes. Let them push the poison away. Literally. Each species in the contiguous CC there may be more than one. Very clever mechanism, ha 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 ha. The scale of this snake venom evolution event is unprecedented. And even CC species don't say raw, but the instruments learned raw's guess that, because they have a habit of burrowing, and snakes of the Elapidae family, hunting for burrowing species. So maybe they've been under tremendous evolutionary pressure, hunted and eaten countless times everywhere. In a dark time that you can imagine as the end of silicon, but also from that global carnage. CCs are selected, carrying precious mutations inside. Together, they survived and raised their families. The fight between Clion and their snake Elap, it's still going on in nearly every corner of the world, except for SEO. This island is located on the 6th island of the same separated name from the Indian table about 66 million ago, coinciding with the time of mass-productive dinosaurs, and a few earlier 10.000.005 when the first Olympics started to crawl on the ground. CC is lucky to be outside the Great Slaughter. But they're also the only contiguous CC species on our planet. No specific against snake venom. They're completely out of the running. Something that makes perfect sense because they don't have legs. And he chose to die. And the great battle between CC immediately and they snake is just one. In the countless 8 nest of planetary wars against the army of venomous snakes with the participation of many animal groups. There's another spine. And although there's no other group, it shows exceptional resistance. It's like mine. The same mutations are also found in lizards, mongoose, and of course, it's impossible to go back to the village. Oh my friend, you search for the keyword VI fake mezzanine honey to see more. Yeah, this young man can't say enough. Because he has legs, so the ancestors of humans, you can't stand outside either. The fight against snake barrels. Scientists have given these nerve receptors in many different primates playing snake venom and discovered that common ancestor of chimpanzees, gorillas and humans are the most resistant to poison, allowing their descendants to include humans. It's better against snake venom. He said it wasn't bad luck. You don't play with snakes. Connector. Come on, come on, come on. You're not immune to snake venom. Even the honey badger doesn't have that ability. The above conclusion only means among groups of primates, then people, it's one of the species can resist the venom of snakes. Best to do. In the past, we've been in contact with them the most. Take cobras, for example. They live near our climbing ancestors. They work during the day just like them and ready to slap big animals if you feel threatened. When our ancestors started to walk around on the ground, they will often encounter cobras. Those who don't have the anti-venom receptors will leave, while the tools have some resistance. I will survive and go back to my grandmother to pass that resistance on to us. Clap your hands in the opposite direction. Species that don't see the face of venomous snakes, like the Mangagaska lemur, there's almost no resistance. They're the CC species that are in C-cell. In the world of the captain, they have a saying, take the cake, take the lead. Even though I don't know cake, what kind of cake is it? But in return for love, forging poison resistance for children of our ancestors also seems to have given to the cobra a gift. Some researchers hypothesize that after millions of years of hominids throwing stones and poking sticks remote snake, cobras have developed a long-range weapon. It's a venomous duck that sprays venom from a distance. That's right, you didn't hear it wrong. Maybe it's our ancestors who taught them that trick. But that's the scientist's theory. And friend, do you want to add anything? Please leave your comments in the comments section.